So, good morning, everybody. Hello and welcome to our webinar about Alpha Content Line. My name is Rainer Wilbert and I'm your pre-sales consultant. Please follow the exciting news about the Content Line new stuff, which is presented by Silke Jungblut today. See which brilliant services are implemented in our editorial solution, one for production and one to pimp your content with smart charts. So just some examples of these services. Work smart using the new functions during your content creation. And finally, have a sneak preview into the developer's kitchen. So be excited watching our Alpha Content Line webinar with Silke Jungblut.
Yes, hello and a hearty welcome from me as well. I'm glad to show you the new functionalities today we implemented for the last releases. I'd like to show you a few things we made for a better usability and a better handling of our products. Which includes the possibility of automatic clipping with remove.bg, a third-party tool we implemented into our archive system. I also like to show you some usability optimizations in the EditorialOrganiser, like multi-select for duties or the possibility to transfer texts from one variant into another. We also implemented mandatory multimedia attachments, which means that you can define mandatory maybe pictures or videos, and without it, it can't be exported or published. And the image focal points to set with or without predefined edges. Then we start with external tools in EditorialOrganiser, like the translation of text or creating diagrams. Also some possibilities to help your staff to make some research in Wikipedia or other tools. And last, like Rainer Wilbert already mentioned, I'd like to show you a little sneak preview into our developers' work. We are working actually on a new editor. Okay, I'd like to start with the automated clipping. With this tool, you can clip pictures automatically with just one click. So you have a quick and easy clipping path. And you don't need to jump to another program like Photoshop or other things. This is already implemented into our digital asset management, but we plan to do it in the EditorialOrganiser and print layout as well. So to see what that means, we are here in the digital asset management in the upload area, where you can upload all things you want to upload, like pictures or videos or articles. For example, here is a picture of Harry and Meghan. We need to fill out the mandatory fields. I'm very sorry, I don't know why this is in German. I will put this in English in the presentation. But nevertheless, you can see we can easily see the picture we uploaded, and there is the command clip in the detail view of the picture, and with one click the picture is sent to remove.bg and the background is removed. So we have an easy clipping path for the picture. And like you already know, you can put this picture into the print layout and into the article, and the text will flow around the new created clipping path. The next usability optimization is multi-select for duties. In our roster, there is a possibility to define duties or services for your staff members. And it was always a bit tricky because you had to click each day for its own, and now we can multi-select the days in the roster. So you can select a series of days and easily give duties to your staff members. To see how this works, we are in the editorial organizer and we go to the roster where all the staff members are included into their own departments or editorial offices. And now we can just drag the days we'd like to give a duty to and select the duty or service. We can do this in a horizontal way or the other way around, so you don't need to click anymore. You can just draw the days you'd like to give a service to. Also, we can redefine the duties or services. So the handling is much more easy than before. Okay. There it is. Yeah. Okay. We also worked on the handling of variants because at the moment you can predefine a set of variants you'd like to create if you click on the article creation. If you do so, then maybe you have 3 different variants already created with one click, but all of them are empty. To transfer text from one variant into the other, because you are working maybe in the main article, we created a new tool or a new command that makes the text transmission way more easy. Let's take a look at this tool. We are in the editorial organizer again. And like I mentioned before, we have a predefined set of articles or variants. There's one main article, one is for the news app, and one is for the website. And maybe I'd like to give a title for one of the variants. So I can do so. The other one I leave empty because I don't know what to write yet. And now I'm working in the main article and take another title, and I know the text I want to add already. So the main article is the one I'm working in mainly. There it is. I can write very fast, as you can see. And now we can also put text into the other text areas like the ingress or the title or other text areas you defined in your editorial styles. And now we take a look at the new command like text transfer. This means we copy the new created text to the other variants. There is a hint in the news app variant because there is already text in this variant. We don't want to delete the text you already created in this variant to make sure nothing will be deleted that don't need or don't have to be deleted. So we have the possibility to just add the new text to the already existing text. We'll take a look at this in the next step. So in this news app, there was already a title, Chiara Causes Chaos. And now we added the title from the other variant to the title and can decide whether we want to have the old one or the new one. And all empty fields for the website are now filled with the text we transferred from the main article. And so all variants are ready for publishing. We also created multimedia elements as mandatory attachments. So if you want to make sure that your article is not published without a photo, for example, we can define that as mandatory element. So no export or publishing is possible without the photo that is connected to the article. With this, we want to avoid incorrect export or publishes, so we want to make sure that the article is always published in a right and attractive way, so you can see all you need. Let's take a look at this too. For that, we take a small look into the administration of EditorialOrganiser, where you can define that mandatory multimedia elements. For that, we go to the default exporter. This is defined for the web CMS. And there's a new area, which means mandatory attachments. And if you click on show, then all the possibilities are shown that you can define. For this example, we define that at least one photo has to be connected to the article to be published. And we save the defined configuration. And now we want to give it a try if this works or not. So for that, we go to the article for the web CMS, into the edit mode. You can see there is the text we already created, but there are no contents or no photos attached to the article. There's no photo. We try to export, but there is a hint that the export cannot be done because the photo is missing and we need to attach a photo to the article. So we do this and connect the photo. Now we try it again. And as we can see, this works. And the export is done. Because we're talking of photos, we switch to the next point, which means that we can set image focal points. Maybe you want to, or you have a photo where the focal point is on the left side or the right side, and the photo is really nice for the print article, but maybe not for the web CMS because another focal point is needed there. Then you can define this focal point right from the EditorialOrganiser. Let's take a look at this too. So we have this photos of the storm Chiara, or maybe the first photo is not connected to the storm, but already a nice photo, or also a nice photo. And we have the new command, determine image focus. And now, as you know it from cropping pictures, you can set this, this frame to define the focal point of the image. You can do this in a very freely way, or you can choose from configured predefined sets for maybe online pictures that have a special frame. Okay, now the image focal point is set and given to the next system where the picture is published. Also, we created tools in the dashboard. We thought about making life and work for your staff members more easy. So we thought to create a set of tools that are needed in the daily work and how to integrate it into the normal way of working or in the daily way of working. For this example, we created, or we we put Datawrapper into the dashboard of the editorial organizer to create infographics in an easy way. When we start our work in the morning, we take a look at the dashboards and we can see there are new tasks we have to work with. And one is to add a graphic to the article about the storm Kiara. We can take a look into the workbook or the topic to see more details about the task. And now we have integrated Datawrapper in the dashboard. That is a tool for easy creating infographics. You can use your own data for that. Just drag and drop or copy and paste it into the tool. I took an example data set from Datawrapper. Let's check the data. Seems to be okay. So we proceed. And there it is, the graphic. Let's check if everything looks right, or maybe we take another graphic. That looks not that good, so we switch to the other one again. It looks way better. We can define a title. And then we can proceed to the next step, where we can define more details or check the colors and proceed. Now we can define the title or change the title. We can give a description to the infographic and go to the next step. And this means we can just publish the infographic. In this example, we publish the infographic and take the embed code to put it into the article, but you can also get an email with the graphic as well. But yeah, for this example, we just copy the embed code, switch to the article right from the dashboard to fulfill the task. This is the right article. And now we just need to copy the embed code into the article, and it will change to the graphic. Check again, everything looks fine. So the task is done and the article is ready for publishing. Talking about tools in the editorial organizer means also creating some kind of bookmark set that you can put into the into the editorial organizer, so your staff members already know which tools to use for the daily work. The next examples show how to put translation tools into the editorial organizer or into the interface of the editorial organizer, or some tools for researching, or a better or bigger view of the Datawrapper if we have to create more complex graphics. In the navigation bar, you have now a new point that means tools, but we start from the tasks. So we see we have to translate a German article for an English article, yeah. And for that we need DeepL, which is a tool for automatic translation. And we just put the German text into the tool and it will be translated in a few seconds. We copy the text. We don't have to leave the editorial organizer to work with this tool. Go back to the article, and now all we have to do is to paste the translated text into the article, but yeah, we have to check the text because there could be some mistakes. So let's have a look to the text. I'm very fast at reading too. Looks good. So just a few paragraphs. And the text looks good. And so we fulfilled the task to translate a German article in a few minutes without leaving the editorial organizer and without the question what tool to use or where to get a good tool for translating. We can also implement the view of Wikipedia to do some research, and our own tools like the digital asset management. So you can take a look at the database and the start or dashboard of the alpha tools as well. So we can switch to print layout from this point and don't need to search for the URL or the point where I can start it because everything's at one point. Now we promise to take a look into the developers' work. What we are doing at the moment is creating a combination of a storytelling and blog editor because we want to give the people a good way to work in a flexible way with creating blogs and multimedia elements and switch them around so you can create a very good looking article. But we also want to help them to do their daily work by using editorial styles or predefined sets of blocks. And this is what we have already done. This looks very plain because there's a lot of white space. We want to add some frames so you can see the blocks that you can see when I drive the mouse over the different areas. There are some letters that give a hint which text area is meant by this. So this is the first step to create the blog editor or the storytelling editor. I'm very sorry that this text is in German because this is really an insight into the developers' work, and I didn't want to disturb them from their work too often because they are really engaged to this at the moment. So this is our title. In German, this is Hauptüberschrift. That's because, or that's the reason that there is HU next to it. This is online text, OT. And the next one is the base text. And there is already the navigation bar or tools bar where you can find your commands to get a preview, to make texts bold or italic, or to use the commands you already know from our actual editor or text editor. What's new is that we can now take pictures and drag and drop them between the text areas we already created. We can not only put photos between the blocks, but also other text areas, embed codes, videos, audios, and such things by just drag and dropping them into the area we want to see them. Okay, saving is not possible at that moment. That is not done yet, but we will work on that. And the next thing we will put into our system is the media library. So this is the old editor, but the new media library, which can be found on the left side of the screen. And if you click on that looking glass, then the media library will appear, and you can search for articles, elements, multimedia elements, and such things right in the database. So we can choose or filter for special asset types, or define if we want to take a look into the production elements or into the archived elements as well. Maybe I want to make some research for historical data, or to compare old articles with new ones, or to check if this content was already published. I can easily search for the things in the media library. I can also attach things to my article. So I have now attached a photo maybe, or another article. This is not shown yet in this view because this is the old editor, but the plan is that you can just drag and drop them between the blocks that are already there, and then you can see where the picture will be in the text. Okay, so let's take a look at what we saw today. We saw the possibility to clip images in an automatical way. We saw the multi-select for services. We took a look at the transmission of texts from one main variant into other variants by using variant sets or predefined sets of articles. We took a look at the mandatory multimedia elements to make sure that an article is not published without maybe a photo. We took a look at the image focal points and how to set them in an easy way. And we checked the new tools or possibilities to integrate tools into the editorial organizer to make sure that the staff members are already or always have the right tools at hand to work with their articles. And last but not least, we took a quick look into the developer's kitchen, we call it internally, to see the first view of the blog and storytelling editor. Rainer, would you like to say some words? Okay, so maybe I just quit the session. I'm very thankful that you took a view to our new tools and our new functionalities, and I hope you have had good insights into what we are working with at the moment. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to just email me to the address that is shown on the screen, and then I hope you have a really good day and a good time. Bye-bye.